Oh, hello, and welcome to another Today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. December 28th edition, all day long. And what happened? Whatever happened today? Why, in 1895, Lumiere brothers first premiered the motion picture experience with that, it's a double feature. One of the films was that like train arriving in a station that supposedly people like jumped out of their seats thinking it was going to crash through the screen. Um, I don't know that that ever happened that way, but I'm a big Lumiere brothers fan. Uh, Curious the dueling technology between Thomas Edison and the Lumiere brothers happening on either side of the Atlantic Ocean, but Lumiere brothers works for me. Yeah. So yeah, it's the birth of cinema today, December 28th, 1895. What else? More cinema. Plenty of cinema to go around. 1919 today, the film When the Clouds Roll By premiered. You probably don't know this movie. It's a Douglas Fairbanks production. Douglas Fairbanks Sr. Is probably most well known for like his swashbuckling 1920s movies like The Thief of Baghdad, Zorro, The Black Pirate, things of that nature. But he had like a whole earlier chapter of his life in like the World War I era and in the teens, where he was like a happy-go-lucky comedian slash acrobat, where I believe his start was actually like in the circus as an acrobat, I believe, but really capitalized on that in the teens before anybody had figured out like special effects or miniatures or stunt doubles. Douglas Fairbanks Sr. did it all, scaling the outside of multi-story buildings in like one take, all of this. And there's a couple of films he did that are more than just comedies, which are great. Very often, I believe they're written by Francis Marion, who is a relatively unsung early writer and person involved with early Hollywood. But this one particular film, When the Clouds Roll By, I'll pair this with this and The Mystery of the Leaping Fish are two of the like particular outlier Douglas Fairbanks Sr. movies that are just so crazy. What were they thinking? I don't know. There's like a mad scientist in this who tries to like drive Douglas Fairbanks, whose character is just Doug through the majority of these movies in like the teens. Okay, like it's basically just him for all intents and purposes, right? He's not acting. He's like just smiling at the camera and doing his thing, and it's great. So there's like a mad scientist who tries to drive him crazy, and I believe what it was, I remember correctly, it's been a little while. He eats some food late at night that like gives him nightmares, and he basically just hallucinates all these like insane monsters, including Bull Montana plays a role. I love Bull Montana. Very early Hollywood. I think he must have come from the boxing world. Really great character actor though. Yeah, and it's just a really ridiculous psychedelic film circa 1919. I don't know. Watch it. When the Clouds Roll By, 1919. 1921, Johnny Otis was born, who is a band leader and like rhythm and blues, rock and roll musician, who really advocated for like his band members. He brought so many musicians up and giving them exposure and allowing them the ability to succeed. Which they should have been able to on their own, but we're talking about a pre-civil rights movement era America where that maybe wasn't as possible as it should be. Yeah, really great fan and supporter and rock and roller himself, Johnny Otis. 1933, nope, 32, Dorsey Burnett was born, one third of the rock and roll trio. I make that joke for each one of them. Yeah, I love the rock and roll trio. I really kind of amazing how blistering their records were at a time where mainstream America was still very subdued. Um, like you look at the Pat Boone version of Little Richard type stuff. Like America was more than willing to accept Pat Boone. Um, how did they take the Rock and Roll Trio? I don't know, but they were on a big label and performing all over the country and broadcast on television all around people's homes. Most rockabilly artists did not get that kind of exposure or support. So pretty wild that they did. And did they ever put out a bad record? No. When they split and kind of went their own ways, Johnny Burnett gets very successful with a pop matinee idol type content. And then eventually, I think Dorsey kind of follows suit to a degree. But Dorsey does a couple of really great solo records, still in the vein of the Rock and Roll Trio. Yes. Anyway, December 28th. That's the whole goddamn day. So enjoy it. It's fleeting. We have what we got, and this is what we got for December 28th. So make it worthwhile. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.